What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody, check it out, man. So I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with this little bit of news that I found and I stumbled upon. A lot of rumors are circling around a Goonies sequel. A sequel to the Goonies has been talked about, and it's sounding like it might actually be legit at this point. You can see this headline by The Direct. Is a Goonies or Good Enough sequel releasing in 2026? New movie rumors explained. Okay, look, I'm not going to lie. There was a point in time where if you told me, oh, DA, they're doing a Goonies sequel, like maybe in the late 80s, early 90s, I probably would have been all on board with it, you know? Maybe even into the late 90s, I would have still been cool with that. Like, all right, yeah, let's go ahead and see where these guys are at, you know? Let's see what happened to all of these characters that we rocked with, okay? You know, obviously, Mikey, you know, played by Sean Astin. You know, you got Mouth. You got, that's Mikey there as well. Data. You got Steph, Andy, you got Brand, you know, like, let's see where all of these characters are at. Let's see what they're doing with their lives right now. And, you know, maybe they got kids, maybe they started a family, whatever. Okay. I actually would have been okay with that, you know, maybe if they were in college, you know, yeah, oh yeah, we went to college and blah, 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 blah. Like, okay, that should be fun. Let's go ahead and explore what they're doing. You know, are they still after more pieces of One-Eye Willie's treasure? You know, where are they at with it? Why are they coming back together for another adventure? I might have been on board with that. Now, oh hell no. Okay, I don't want no parts of this stuff at all, because you know Hollywood right now, they're just looking to milk franchises. They don't have a good idea for this thing. You already know they don't have any good ideas for this. They're just trying to milk an old franchise and drag this thing out of mothballs and then bring it back to the silver screen and hope to capture people like myself and get us excited about another adventure. Look, at this point, all of these people are in their 50s and maybe even their 60s. Like, there's no reason to be doing this. There's no reason to be doing this. Nobody wants to see some 50, 60-year-old kids, you know, on an adventure. You know, like if you were like introducing a new era of Goonies, maybe, but I don't even trust that. Yeah, no, CBR is covering the same thing. Rumor the Goonies sequel with original cast given the green light. Yeah, so most of the original cast is still working in Hollywood. Obviously, Josh Brolin, you know, he's been doing a lot of work, all right. He was Bran. Corey Feldman is still poking around, all right. We just saw Ke Quan, you know, and Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then also in Loki, all right. He's still poking around. Sean Astin is still around, all right. I don't know about these two chicks. It's funny because the guy that played Chunk, which is he's actually an entertainment lawyer right now, and his name is Jeff Cohen. All right, he's an entertainment lawyer. I actually looked him up and see, all right, man, how is Chunk looking? Is Chunk looking like Chunk, or is he looking like something else? Yeah, this is Chunk now. Okay, this was Chunk then. This is Chunk now. Like, bruh, you don't look like Chunk right now, okay? All right? I mean, you can kind of see the resemblance. Obviously, it's the same dude. But yeah, he's an entertainment lawyer, all right? And it's like, yeah, see, you don't look like this little chubby kid that we all love. You can't do the truffle shuffle looking like this, bro. I'm sorry. It's not going to work, man. Yeah, I found like another picture on his Facebook, or actually on X. Look at this, man. This bro looked like he's in shape, man. He's standing next to Ke Quan. This is when he got, I think, his Oscar or whatever, Everything Everywhere All at Once or whatever. Yeah, it's like, bruh, and this is his lawyer as well. He's like representing this guy. I'm like, man, you don't look like Chunk, man. You don't look like Chunk at all. So yeah, for that reason alone, and I'm sorry, man, we can't do the Goonies. If we can't get a proper truffle shuffle out of this guy and he don't look like he got any truffles to shuffle whatsoever. Yeah, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. But yeah, they're apparently trying to milk another franchise. And this is the problem with Hollywood, is Hollywood doesn't want to come up with a new original idea. Like, come up with something new. Come up with the next Goonies. Don't come up with a Goonies sequel. Create another film that will capture current audiences like the Goonies did for us back in the 80s. You know, when the Goonies came out, I think I was like 12 years old or whatever. Loved the Goonies. All right. Watched it a bunch of times in theaters. When it came out on home video, bought it, watched it a bunch of times. I mean, me and my cousins, everybody, just the Goonies was the best. But you don't need to recreate this, all right? They already did that with Stranger Things, to be honest with you. They kind of created or recaptured that same magic that the Goonies had when it comes to young kids on an adventure and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, let's go ahead and read this and see what they're talking about. The original cast of the 1985 classic The Goonies will reunite for a sequel set for release in 26 or 27, according to The Sun. So it's still a rumor, but The Sun is reporting this. The Goonies reboot has been talked about for a long time, but it's finally been given the green light to go ahead, a source said. According to the source, the plan is to start developing the ideas for the follow-up next summer with a possible release of 26 or 27. Listen, it's all rumors. I don't believe this is real, all right? At least right now, I have a huge amount of skepticism when it comes to this, because every major franchise would love to come back and do a reboot. You know, Top Gun Maverick, obviously, you know, Beetlejuice just had theirs. You know, I think, but Beverly Hills Cop just dropped a 4th movie. Everybody wants to try to capture that same magic, that same flavor that they caught back in the 80s. And when you see the success that they've had, obviously Top Gun Maverick had a lot of success. And then you have Beetlejuice just recently. That had a lot of success, all right? It's doing great in the box office. So that's going to entice more people to say, oh, yeah. You know, let's do some 35-year-long sequel. You know, the second sequel comes 35 years later. Let's go ahead and do that because people from the 80s would like to see some of these franchises revived or brought back to the forefront. And honestly, again, I don't think they have any good ideas with it. I personally would prefer they just go out and make new things, all right? Leave the stuff that was in the 80s, leave it in the 80s. You don't have to come back and try to recreate the magic of the 80s. Go make the magic of the 20s or the 2020s or whatever. Do that. That's what we need right now. We need somebody that tries to find the magic that exists today. And you can still tap into some of the tried and true methods of storytelling that you used to get from old Hollywood, but you don't have to recreate whole cloth the Goonies. Like, that's just stupid, you know? There's no point in this other than the fact that you're just trying to milk old 80s fans like myself for money. See, I'm not coming to watch it, all right? I just don't want to see it. I'm not interested in it. And I know, again, some folks will be. The nearly 40-year-old movie was based on the story by Steven Spielberg. It chronicled a group of kids from the Boondocks, we all know about that, on the quest for the treasure of Pirate One-Eyed Willie and the obstacles they had to overcome in the way. Their signature catchphrase was Goonies never say die. Yeah, I got a shirt that says that, man. Yeah, the Goonies were great, man. Fantastic. The source said the team is starting the project. It's so excited. The source says it's in the early days, but the youth adventure market is on fire, so they want to capitalize on this. The Goonies is 39 years old, and the idea that they can bring the magic to the film to a whole new audience has the team very excited. Why not just do something new, okay? Why don't you bring the magic of the film to a whole new audience by doing something new, not the old school stuff, not the Goonies, okay? Not trying to like entice this guy to get out and do the truffle shuffle, you know? I mean, again, there's enough of the original cast that's still living. You know, I think even, like the Fratelli brothers are still with us, you know, at least, you know, the main two. I forget the one guy's name. He's like an actor, director. The guy that played the older brother. And then you have Joe Pantoliano, obviously, is one of the Fratellis. Obviously, Ann Ramsey is no longer with us. John Matuszak is no longer with us. So you can't have Sloth. You know, it's like, yeah, you can't even have Sloth. So, like, why even do this? You know, it's just dumb to me, man. I mean, again, it's laziness. It's Hollywood laziness, and this is why Hollywood fails. Not to say that if they did make this movie, it wouldn't be successful, but again, you're still talking about tapping in to old franchises instead of creating something new. Give us new things, Hollywood. This is what people are looking for. Not just recreating old stuff, but creating new things. They don't know how to do that anymore, and that's the major problem with Hollywood right now. Yeah, the old classic pictures, man. What are the pictures they got? Look at this, man. This is a great film, man. A great film. You know, if you guys haven't seen The Goonies, and I know a lot of you guys have, the coach's favorite film, right? Yeah, coach from EBN, man, he loves The Goonies. It's his favorite film of all time, man. Make sure y'all give him a shout out. Yeah, I mean, just there's no reason to do this over again. You're never going to capture what this film was. The cast has been kept busy over the years. The Goonies star Sean Astin, 53. So this guy's 53 years old as Mikey. Corey Feldman is 53 as Mouth. Astin has success, obviously, Lord of the Rings, Rudy for 50 First Dates. You got Josh Brolin, obviously. He's been in Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, Deadpool, and all of that kind of stuff. All right. Jeff Cohen, that's the guy that played Chunk, is an entertainment lawyer. Ki Kwan is the one that played Data. You know, obviously we remember him also from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. You know, snagging Best Supporting Actor Award for Everything Everywhere All at Once. The movie also featured Cary Green as Andy and Martha Plimpton as 53 as Steph. John Matuszak, the ex-NFL player, he passed away, so he can't be in it as well. Yeah, again, you got some folks that are still in it, but I don't care. You know, I just don't want to see them do it because, number one, it's just, you know, ripping off old school stuff from the 80s, and that's lazy. That's pandering to your old fan bases. That's not giving us new things to enjoy and watch, all right? I'm not saying that you can't have a sequel to an older movie. I'm not saying that, all right? But it seems like now that's the thing. Like, oh, yeah, let's do stuff from the 80s. They're still tapping into the 80s. Like I said, even after Stranger Things and the success that it had, well, let's tap into the 80s once again. It's just super lazy. You know, I wish Hollywood was better at this point. Yeah, Chris Columbus, of course, produced it. It was directed by Richard Donner. You know, he and Spielberg tried a few times to develop a sequel to the Goonies, but the idea never went past the pre-production phase. Yeah, again, if these guys didn't have a great idea and they couldn't get it off the ground, pull a plug, okay? We're done. We're not doing this, all right? That's it. Just put a pin in it. Say, hey, look, hey, it was a good idea way back in the 90s, but at the end of the day, we just can't really get it done. So let's go out there and make some. Hey, why don't we take like a idea like the Goonies with kids on an adventure, but make it not the Goonies and just do something different? I mean, you did that with Stranger Things. Don't set it in the 80s, set it in the 2020s, and just give people something new. God, Hollywood, man, you guys are that devoid of ideas that you got to go back and you got to try to do the Goonies? It's just ridiculous, man. At this point, again, I don't really care. They had a poster up here, which I actually thought was a cool poster. Yeah, I actually thought this was like kind of a dope poster. A New Adventure is Calling. The Goonies are good enough, you know, and they're saying Steven Spielberg was supposed to direct it. Yeah, again, if I'm Spielberg, I want no parts of this. Nah, I'm good. You know, we did the Goonies back in the 80s. We really couldn't make a sequel to this. Let's just call it quits. But nevertheless, these are where the rumors are at. All right. There's a lot of rumors swirling around. So we'll see what happens. But you guys let me know what y'all think. Are you interested in a Goonies sequel? You know, some folks might be. And honestly, again, if it was up to me, if it was in the 80s, 90s, I would have been all on board. Now, Hollywood is just completely woke and stupid, and this would have all kind of messaging in it, and it would probably just be not a great idea, you know, at this point. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Anyway, you guys let me know what y'all think. Jump down in the comments, give me your thoughts and opinions on that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.